Hi, I've been a big fan of Yamaha Tenere for a number of years, and today we are going to change the oil and oil filter on Yamaha Tenere XT660Z 2009 model. So let's have a look. The dipstick and the fill-in point is next to the steering column on the right hand side. I don't know if you can see it there. So that's the fill-in point and the dipstick of the motorcycle. And to drain the oil sump is on the left hand side of the engine, just past the gear shifter right there. You will need a 17mm socket to remove this oil sump to drain the oil, as well as, because it's a dry sump, the oil is in the frame of the motorcycle, and to drain everything from the sump you will also start here. Actually, this is number 13 socket. So remove the dipstick on the top first, so you don't have a vacuum there when the engine is hot. Open up this one with 13mm socket just below the exhaust. Let this one drain first and then open up this oil sump on the bottom here of the engine. There is quite a big pressure there, so as you drain the oil, make sure you have the pan firstly forward all the way next to the wheel, and then as the pressure gets smaller you can move it closer, just right under the spout of the oil. And next comes the oil sump from the engine. So we have two bolts, smaller one from the frame with the washer and the big one from the gearbox from the engine. It's also good to lean the bike fully to this side, so we'll get everything out completely. This one has a center stand, so I'll just lean the bike as much as I can, and everything is coming out nicely. The next step is to remove the oil filter, which is on the right hand side of the engine under this 3-bolt cover, clearly signed oil filter. So you remove those 3 bolts. This one is longer one, and replace the oil filter. And let me correct myself, there are actually 2 long bolts here on the top and 1 short one on the bottom, as you can see here. So 2 long ones, top ones, and shorter ones is on the bottom. It's good to actually place a cloth here underneath, because as the oil comes out of the oil filter cavity it will leak down and under the bash pan there. So it's good to place some rag, just stick it under the oil filter cavity as you replace the oil filter. And after you've replaced the oil filter on the other side, remember to tighten the bolts back in on the frame, as well as on the bottom here on the left hand side. And it's time to refill the oil through the fill-in on the top. Before you start pouring oil in through the top, you may want to, or you would have to, remove this oil breather on the top of the oil filter cover. That is to get out to release the air from the air pocket from the oil filter here as you pour the oil. After you start the bike, let it idle, and while this bolt is loose, you will actually air bleed this cavity, and that way actually the oil will be all around the frame and the engine. Once you are ready to refill the oil, be careful, because the total capacity of this is 2.9 liters if you are changing oil filter, but only put in here through the top first about 1.8 liters, otherwise you will overfill it and the oil will be backing up here and leaking down onto the radiator. You don't want a messy job. So firstly, remember, put in 1.8 liters, close it, start the bike, check the air bleeding screw here. Once the oil starts coming out of here, tighten it back in, then turn it off and refill the remaining oil up to 2.9 liters. So 1.8, another liter, 1.1 liters to make it 2.9 altogether. Okay. Okay, so that's the procedure of changing oil on Yamaha Tenere XTZ660 or XT660Z newer models. This one is 2009 model. For any motorcycle and scooter repairs, just get on www.freedomontwowheels.com. Greetings from Australia. Stay safe and upright. Bye.